Review this game. Sicilian defense, bishop c4, knight f6, knight c3, g6, bishop g7, and d3. It looks like close Sicilian. So potentially white is going to move the knight and f4 to expand his space at the king side, and on the other hand, black should push the pawn on the queen side. Bishop h4, knight c6, knight d5, controlling the center. Exchange. I think it's better to take that with the bishop. Since take that with the knight, these two pawns are doubled. Knight a5, rook b1 exchange, and a6. Black is pushing the b pawn. Rook e1, that's a good move to attack the e7 pawn, and black has to defend that. Queen e2, it's very good, adding pressure on this weakness. So g5, black has to push the g pawn to kick the bishop. So actually, I think black can play another move. That is maybe move the queen out, attack a2. If white take the pawn, I think bishop f8. The bishop is pinned, and black can win the bishop. So queen a5, black can defend e7 pawn with the pin. G5, e5. I think divide this light square bishop is better than pushing the pawn, because after pushing the pawn, after exchange d6 pawn is backward, and it's easy to be a target. And I will move the b rook instead of the e rook, because the e rook is still controlling this open file, and I don't think black will take the b pawn, because rook d6, that is a real big problem for black. And move the bishop f5, queen to d2. This is really good, attacking, aiming at this d6 pawn. Take that, b6, rook e2. Yeah, this is good to control the second rank. b3. Yeah, I think one of black can win one of the pawn. Oh, this is a blunder, unfortunately. I think we have to move the rook to f1. Actually, instead of push the pawn, I think we can move the rook active. If you lose the pawn, that's fine. We can check the king, and hopefully we can play b3 later. I mean, yes, we might end up losing a pawn, but we can have an active rook. Have a bishop and rook attacking b6. We can win the pawn back. But play, yeah. So now we don't have the chance to move the rook to d1, rook to c1. I think it's still be attacked with rook bishop b2. The rook has to move to f1. What about rook e1? Yeah, rook e1 offer a trade. I think it's good to trade our rook with this one, because the e2 rook is more powerful than our rook. Then yeah, after losing the rook, I don't think white has a chance. White has a chance to balance the position. Yeah, c3, and white is going to have a very strong pawn. Yeah, be aware of any chance to stalemate. Yeah, I don't think we need to walk through the rest of the game. I think it's a very interesting opening. I think the move make like white lose the game is let's see. Maybe we don't have to trade the rook. We can play rook d1 to defend the b2 square, the second rank. If we lose this pawn, we can move the rook back. We can take b6. Our like knight is protecting the rook, right? Bishop b3. We can move. You take mine, I take yours, and I can take a6 or later c5. Or let's see, is there any benefit? Knight f1 is also okay. Wait, I don't think black will take the b2 pawn, because rook c1. Yes, black will lose one of the bishop. So we don't need to worry about losing the c2, and we can attack the b6 instead. Something like that. Attack the bishop and later move the knight to d5. And this is quite balanced. Both sides have the same number of pawns. And that it is.